I thought of something. I was just doing a live stream, and I thought of something that happened to me when I was about 7. I think I was already in the 1st grade. One day, I was in the house. The other kids, well, Joe and Michael, they were babies, so they were in the cribs and stuff. But me and Carolyn and George was outside playing. It was on the weekend, so Daddy was home. Oh my gosh. Have you ever walked in on your mama and your daddy bumping uglies, I call it, or having sex? Well, I did. I went in the house for something, and I went to the bedroom looking for Mama, and there they was on the bed, buck naked, not under the covers, bumping uglies. I thought they were wrestling. I didn't know what the heck they were doing. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. They realized I was there. Boy, they jerked them covers up over them real quick. And started screaming at me, "Get out of here!" Oh my goodness. And I went running. They didn't come after me. But I went outside real quick to tell Carolyn what I had just seen. But of course I didn't know what I had just seen. I knew they was naked. And they looked like they was wrestling. And that's what I told Carolyn. Mom and Daddy's wrestling naked on the bed. Oh my gosh. But they never mentioned it. After that, nothing was never said. But matter of fact, it was up till I was about 10 before I actually understood what they were doing. And turns out that might have been the time that they made that 5th baby, Joe. Michael had been born right then, but Joe hadn't. So maybe that's when Joe got made. I don't know. I never thought about telling Joe that I seen Mom and Daddy making him. Oh my God. There was a lot of things back then I couldn't understand. For instance, Kotex, woman's sanitary napkin. I don't think any women use them anymore. I don't know. I know Mama used to use them, but I didn't know. I didn't know what for. And I walked in one time in the bathroom and Mama was putting one on. I was really puzzled then. But she's putting it on, you know, and I was stood there about 30 seconds before she realized I was in there, and there was another one in there, get out of here. But she was putting one on. And so somewhere down along the line after that, I got to thinking about that. I never knew what those Kotex was for. But I seen her putting one on. Well, guess what little Dauber did? He got one of them things out in the bathroom and was trying to put it on to see what it was all about. Oh, I couldn't figure out how they made it stay on. But pretty... Little Dauber putting on a Kotex. Oh my goodness. That was hilarious. I did some weird stuff when I was a kid. There used to be a show that come on Saturdays. It was called the Seal Test Big Top. It was a circus, and it was sponsored by Seal Test Milk. And they had this little jingle they sang. It was like, Seal Test, nothing but the best, something like that. That was a name brand milk. And they had this lady, a girl I called her. She was a Seal Test sweetie. And she was giving out recipes, and you had to write in to get a recipe, and they'd send you a recipe. Well, in my mind, it was her doing this. She was just a spokesperson for it. And I scrounged up a postage stamp and an envelope piece of paper, and I ordered a Seal Test Sweetie recipe. And meanwhile, while I was doing that, I made a note in there. Could you please send me Seal Test Sweetie's address? I wanted to meet the Seal. I had the hots for the Seal Test Sweetie. Well, I got the recipe, but I didn't get no response about my request that I get a note from a Seal Test CD. Seal Test. I was a crazy little kid. I had this Superman costume. And and one day there was a man down the street that was shot and killed. And I was walking by when the police and everything was there, and the man was laying there on the sidewalk dead. Well, you stupid sucker. So I come home, and that night I put on my Superman costume. And I went down there where the man was killed at, and I was going to solve the crime. Of course, I didn't solve nothing. I just went down there walking around like I was some kind of stuff. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my goodness. What? And one time, I went down to this store at night with my Superman costume on. It was named Green's Grocery. And Walter, it was his grandparents that run the store. And they had a lot of penny candy in there. And I come down there and I was walking around out there, and Walter come out and he seen me. And I convinced him that I was the real deal. And I grabbed hold of a post that was holding up the upstairs porch where they lived above the grocery store. And I told Walter he needed to go in there, and I told him which penny candy I wanted. And I said, you bring me some of this candy or I'm going to push this post down and your house is going to fall. And and he did. He went in there and got me a handful of that candy I wanted. And he come back out, give it to me. The next night I went there again. Walter come out. I tried to pull the same deal. Turns out Walter's told his grandma what I had done. And this time she come out. And told me if I didn't come up with the money that penny candy, well, just a few cents, that they was going to my parents about it, and that I wasn't real. And the grandma pushed me. Said, see, Walter, he ain't nothing. Yeah. But I had Walter convinced that night. Oh, my Lord. And how about... I went in this... I had a paper route. And the drugstore was one of my customers. Well, I delivered my papers about 5 in the morning, so it was dark. And somebody had broken into the drugstore. And the door left the door hanging open. Well, I went in there and proceeded to help myself. Went around to the fountain part of the drugstore and went in there and got out one of these big 2-gallon tubs of ice cream. I eat some. You stupid. Dobber, you were so stupid. And I took that 2-gallon size container of ice cream. It's the one that dipped the ice cream out to make ice cream cones. And and I took that thing home. I went under the house. I didn't want nobody to know I had it. I went under the house. I dug me a hole. I put the ice cream in a bag. And you ignorant sucker. Oh, my God. And I hid that ice, put it in the hole in the ground, and covered it up. Yeah. I was going to come back that evening after school and have me some. well, when I come back from school, the only the only thing I had was a bunch of ants and melted ice cream. Oh, Lord. And I should have been smarter than that. I was like 12, 13, something like that. I was old enough to have a paper route. Oh, Lord. And I finally wound up losing that paper route because I couldn't keep my balance sheet balanced. And what I was doing, I was spending more money than my share. I think I knew, but I don't know. But I kept coming up short and I couldn't figure out why. That's why. And finally, they took the route away from me. My parents never taught me a lot of stuff. Everything I know, I pretty much had to learn on my own. Anyway, they took my paper route, and I wound up going to town every day in the city there and selling newspapers on the corner. And they had several boys that was doing that, and you had a specific corner that you was assigned. And mine was the corner that K Jewelers was on. I was allotted only 20 papers to sell. That meant I could only make 50 cents. So I wound up, I was selling the 20 papers and then going back to get more. I wound up selling about 50 or 60 papers on that corner. And I had this little crate that you sit in different places on your block there. And you put 5 or 6 papers on that crate, and you set a little cigar box on top. And it was an honor system. People would grab a newspaper and put a nickel in. And I never lost any money that way. They were always honest, you know. But I was selling 60, 70 papers a day out there. And it was the final edition. It was in the afternoon. And I had this saying that I used to holler out when you're selling the papers sometimes. And I was hollering, here it goes. Farina, journal, paper. And I was selling papers. And one time, Julius LaRosa was a singer on Arthur Godfrey's show. And Arthur Godfrey fired Julius LaRosa on air. And it was in the paper. And I was hollering out, Arthur Godfrey fires Julius LaRosa. Sold a bunch of papers. And sometimes they used to have the Gator football games in Jacksonville. And usually it was a game that the Gators played at the stadium there with Georgia Bulldogs. And the newspaper company, they had to press offset, and when they immediately knew who won the game, it was a headline on the paper. And you had them, and you headed out to the street that's coming out of the stadium to sell them papers, because a lot of people were looking for souvenirs. And sometimes you sell 200-300 papers. Didn't make much on them for a nickel a paper. I used to take, when I was selling papers on the corner, I'd have $2 or $3 that I made. And I'd stop by the Crystal Burger. And that's when the burgers were 10 cents. And the drink was 10 cents. And the fries was 10 cents. So for 30 cents, I could get a burger, fries, and a drink. But I always got 3 burgers. So for 50 cents, I got the fries, the drink, and 3 burgers. Man, I love them things. I used to love to go in there and watch that man cooking them things. 10 cents a burger. Crystal's still around, but they ain't 10 cents no more. I'm a long ways from it. But I sure like them Crystal burgers. And you can still get them now, but they call them sliders. It's a little thin patty with a pickle and a little bit of cooked onions on them and some mustard. Now when I buy them from the grocery store, when I fix one, I'll open it up after it's heated up, and I'll put mayonnaise on them. I love the mayonnaise on it. But Dauber and the Kotex. Mom and Daddy bumping uglies. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, I did some funny stuff when I was a kid. See you. Is there dirt on that hand? I can't see. Yeah. My desk gets sticky. And my hands get dirty and I gotta go wash them. See ya. GoPro stop recording.